session, item number 17. Open a work session, item number 18. Department of Administrative Services. Mr. Rocco, please. Mr. Rocco.
Mr. Chair, so item number 18 is a request from it's a leadership request that would establish a general fund appropriation by allocating $25 million from the emergency fund to the Department of Administrative Services to provide a grant to the Housing Authority of Jackson County for the purpose of acquiring and developing property to replace a portion of lost workforce housing that was destroyed during the Labor Day wildfires. This request would give immediate resources to the Housing Authority of Jackson County to acquire and develop available land for housing, including affordable units, and partially to attempt to replace some of the 4,000 to 5,000 homes that were lost during the wildfires in September. The proposal is to develop this as a combination of affordable and mixed income housing. And there have been some potential sites identified that are available for purchase in the near future. And that's basically a short summary of this request.
CFO, recommendation?
Mr. Chair.
The LFO recommendation?
Yeah, correct. The CFO did not have an opportunity to look at this. Right. The co-chairs of the Emergency Board recommend that the Emergency Board establish a general fund appropriation by allocating $25 million from the Emergency Fund to the Department of Administrative Services for a grant to the Housing Authority of Jackson County for land acquisition and development to replace lost workforce housing destroyed during the Labor Day wildfires.
Speaker Kotek, your motion, please.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. Mr. Co-Chair, I move that the Emergency Board approves the co-chair's recommendation on item number 18.
18 is before the board.
Mr. President, Johnson in the queue, please.
Senator Frederick, please.
Senator Hensel, yes, thank you, Mr. President. I just want to make it clear. I was there the month after the fires. This is desperately needed. The people who lost their homes had no other place to go. This was one of the smallest. They were desperate at the beginning, and now they're even more so. I'm glad to see this before us, and I hope that we will be able to provide housing for those folks. Thank you.
Senator Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. President. My heart breaks for the people who lost their homes. I packed a house twice in the face of wildfire, and it's terrifying and devastating. But I can't support this item. Following the write-up that was performed, I called a very knowledgeable businessman in Jackson County and asked whether or not property there went in the price range of $250,000 an acre. He was dumbstruck that that was the amount that was listed. So I don't know about the acquisition. No potential parcels have been identified. There doesn't appear to be a business plan that supports the building or the infrastructure needs of these developments. I would be very supportive of this if it came back a little bit more firmly fleshed out at a time in the future. Thank you.
Senator Hensel. Senator Rod, I got you. Senator Hanson.
Yeah, thank you very much. My question is, and unfortunately this year I was not in fire district or fire issues, but why just Jackson County? Why? I mean, these are statewide funds. Why are we only looking at one place when we had multiple fires, our worst fire season of all? I don't want to speak for Santiam Canyon, but we lost whole communities. And we're not, none of this money is going to them. So I asked that question, why only Jackson County and not a more comprehensive look at those who lost their homes?
Speaker Kotek, please.
Thank you, Mr. Co-Chair. And to address that concern, and I think some others that are about this item, First of all, those are good questions, and I'm glad you're asking them. I believe all of us and the presenting officer specifically are very committed to making every community a priority as we recover from the wildfires from the Labor Day disaster. What's happening in Jackson County is, while everybody lost houses, the number of houses they lost was significant. This money will not, significant in number. This money will not replace all of that housing. This will have to be both public and private partnerships, private sector actions as well as public sector actions to make sure the level of housing that has been lost can be replaced. And part of the concern from the folks in Southern Oregon is that if we wait until the end of the biennium to potentially do this type of funding as well as others, that they will lose an opportunity to move quickly in terms of replacing the housing. It will still take years to replace that housing. And there is a coordinated approach underway in Jackson County. And I don't think funding this would somehow not allow us to fund other things in the future. The House in particular has committed to a wildfire recovery special committee. We know all communities impacted by the wildfires will need help. This is just one that is ready to go now, and there's a lot of work to do, and I would hope that you support it.
Senator Gerard, please.
Thank you, President Courtney. I have a question, and this goes back to number 8 on our list. Now, Jackson County is getting $25 million here. Are they still going to be eligible for money out of number 8?
Could someone help with that?
Mr. Co-Chair, I'll take a stab at that. I would assume so. You have small cities impacted and Jackson County is a wildfire impacted county, but the municipal help that is under that item is not the same as this item.
I got to make a comment here. I represent Lynn, Marion, and Clackamas counties. We've been devastated by wildfires. Detroit lost 3/4 of the town. Gates lost 3/4 of the town. You're given $25 million directly to Jackson County. They still can get money out of number 8. We couldn't get a $300,000 allocation specified for Marion County. And to top all that off, it's just extremely frustrating that we sit here and it seems that there's just a lot of favoritism going down to Jackson County. Now, when the cleanup started, guess who started first? Jackson County. So we got the cleanup going first. You got number 8 you're going to take money out of. You got $25 million direct allocation. And yet my district's sitting there twiddling their thumbs trying to get going. So I am extremely frustrated, and I'm going to be a hell no on this.
Is there any other comments on this issue?
Stark's in the queue.
President Stark.
Thank you, Mr. President. So 2/3 of my district is Jackson County, although the primary damage is not in my actual district. I do feel like I represent Jackson County. With that being said, the way this money is being directed is not my preferred method. I do have some concerns about, $250,000 per acre. I think, being born and raised down here, I'm pretty shocked to see that price tag. If that's really what they're looking at, please call me and I'll get you in touch with someone who can negotiate that lower, because that's not what it should be. But that being said, we are desperate enough down here that I'll take it, even though it's not my preferred method. I will take it any way I can get it right now.
Other questions or comments?
Mr. President?
Yes,
Representative Domberg.
Yes.
Thank you, and I do appreciate the comments both of Representative Stark and Senator Johnson. A lot of people were hurt very seriously by the fires this year. Certainly my neighborhood was one of them as well, although other neighborhoods may have been impacted more. I'm not going to stand in the way of people getting help that need it. And I'm going to vote yes today, but I hope that we can also be cognizant that there are other parts of the state that are waiting for their turn as well, and we'll help them when we can too.
Well, I'm just going to say, Senator Rod, I guess I know I've been willing to listen to any requests and have tried to work hard to respond because of this fire disaster, wherever it was. And I know, for example, in the Canyon, I thought, Fred, there was some real situation. You had a great education leader up there, superintendent, and we worked hard to do some things to help that school get ready. It's smoke damage or something, and I don't know how much it cost. We didn't even care. We just get it done. And I guess I'm a little hurt that favoritism. I don't know. I'll just make a statement right here for anybody here who has been stunned by that fire, because all of Oregon has been stunned by the fire. I thought every time we had a request, I don't know about the $300,000. I'm just going to tell you, Fred, Mike, from Marion County, and I represent Marion County, or at least all my districts in it. And the life of me, I'm not trying to play favorites here. I'm trying to respond to people who have been devastated and lost everything in a way that I'm being told to. And I'm not kidding. I'll help whatever. Canyon, we had the McKinsey, we have the Clackamas. I really feel that way. So you vote the way you want to vote, but for the life of me, I can honestly say, I guess I'm a bit startled that we've tried, I think, in so many ways. I haven't gone back and thought about, well, what have we done for this? What have we done for that? Because I don't even want to get into that situation. I'm going to respond to those who come from those communities and what they need and their elected officials, and try to get in there and work our tail off, both at this meeting as well as when we go into the next session starting Monday. So I'm sorry if individuals feel we haven't paid enough attention to their areas. They've been devastated by this catastrophe, but it wasn't, there's no intention here to favor one over the other. So I'll leave it at that. I think today we did some things which favor certain counties in certain areas, if I'm not mistaken, and other areas. So, and particularly the rural urban areas, rural areas. So I guess I'm stumbling around here. I just wanted to say that. I haven't talked really all day. Not that it's important that I do. I just wanted that on the record for whatever it's worth. Does anyone else wish to speak on this issue?
Yes, Mr. President, this is Representative McLean.
Yes, Representative McLean, please.
Thank you very much. I want to simply say why I'm voting yes today. I think it's really important. I've got a personal Rotary Club that's helped with cleanup up by Detroit Lake. And I have got all kinds of family and friends across the state, and from Clackamas County, from sisters and nephews and nieces to folks that I've known from 1971 when I started my teaching career in Southern Oregon. But I will tell you that right now, the reason we're doing it now on this particular item 18 is because 2,500 out of 4,000 units were burned in that urban fire. And not only that, 1,800 of them were manufactured homes. This is work housing. We have people who need some support now. We have a great housing authority down there, and I doubt that they're going to buy that high cost land if they can find some lower land that works. But we also have manufactured home burn-out sites that are available as well. And those folks can't do anything with those burned out sites unless we start with cleaning up and getting them bought so they know they're going to have rebuilt housing on them. So there's a lot going on here. What we're doing is being prudent and proactive in trying to make sure that we're dealing with what we can deal with as soon as we can in an appropriate way, and then continue to help everyone in the state as we go forward. So my vote will be yes today, and I hope we can get there.
Okay, I think we ought to go to a vote on this, because I think this discussion is... Yes.
Sheriff, this is Greg, Rep. Smith.
Who's speaking? Representative Smith, please.
President. I want to kind of echo what you shared, Mr. President. I remember a year or two ago, myself and Senator Hansel had a crisis in Umatilla County when we were affected by floods. And you and the speaker were able to step up and assist us in those districts. And so I want to acknowledge that work you've done. I'm going to cast an aye vote on this because I think there is a definite need here. I would hope, though, that the Department of Administrative Services would wrap their arms around this project a little tighter to make sure that dollars aren't wasted, so that we can expand the number of homes that get constructed. And let me give an example. When I read this and it tells me the Housing Authority of Jackson County has approximately 4,000 to 5,000 homes that have been lost, that's a little concerning. They don't know the exact number of homes. To give an estimate of 4,000 to 5,000, it is a little loosey-goosey when you're dealing with $25 million. And then when you go through this and you start looking at some of the other descriptions and numbers that have been provided to us, we don't want to waste money. I mean, the reason we're on this committee is because we're all concerned about numbers. And so, you know, a few thousand here and a few thousand there, all of a sudden you could have built another home for a family in need. So I'm going to support this. One, I've given my word I would do that. And two, I definitely know there's a need. But I really hope that we maximize this money so we can build as many homes as possible. Thank you.
So I'm going to say we should just go to a vote on this, up or down. Anyway. So unless someone else really wants to speak, is there anybody else? Ray, speak up or whatever. All right, I'm not seeing any hands, and I'm not hearing any noise out there. So, Mr. Rocker, would you call the roll, please, on number 18?
Representative Rayfield.
Rayfield votes yes.
Representative Smith.
Representative Smith votes aye.
Representative Gomberg.
Go on, continue.
Representative Stark.
Stark votes yes.
Representative Gomberg, you're muted.
Okay, now you can do it.
Can we?
Do you want to vote, Representative Gomberg?
I'm sorry, yes, Gomberg votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Holby?
Thank you. I have great concerns with McKinsey, Blue River, and Vida, but I'm happy to vote yes to help Jackson County.
Representative McLean?
Representative McLean votes yes.
Representative Nose?
Representative Nose votes yes.
Representative Drazen?
Representative Drazen votes yes.
Co-Chair Kotek?
Speaker Kotek votes yes.
Senator Johnson?
Johnson votes no.
Senator Steiner Hayward?
Steiner Hayward votes yes.
Senator Thompson excused. Senator Hansel?
Senator Hansel votes no.
Senator Roblin?
Senator Roblin votes yes.
Senator Frederick?
Senator Frederick votes yes.
Senator Manning?
Senator Manning votes aye.
Senator Girard?
Girard votes no.
Senator Taylor?
Senator Taylor votes aye.
Senator Finley?
Senator Finley votes no.
Co-Chair Courtney?
Senator Courtney votes yes.
That motion passes.
Item number 18 has been approved. I'd like to close
Sorry,
the work
Mr.
session.
Chair.
Yes, who's speaking, please?
Senator Steiner Hayward. Colleagues, I will be leaving now with the Senate President's permission because the Sabbath begins in about 10 minutes. And so I'm eager to do that. I want to urge you to support the remaining items. I would have voted yes on all three of them. And I wish you all a good weekend. And I'll see you Monday. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 18 was approved, I believe, so I'll close the work session. Item number 18, open a work session. Item number 19. Mr. Rocco, your presentation, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Item number 19 is